Here's all my patch area right in here. And don't think, oh, I'm going to just do it without taking the hardware off. You know, take the hardware off and do it right. Plus, once I get all done with this, I may have to screw this back on for tonight so that the owner can use this door. But then when I get ready to paint, I'll again pull this part off so I can paint this without trying to cut in with the paintbrush around there. I can just paint straight up and down, okay? So when you got stuff like that, just think about your project and get everything out and ready. I'm going to take a look at this first. And it looks like I can just gouge that material that was in there before right out. I know they put just spackle in there. They could have even put lightweight spackle in there. So, you know, my rock hard putty is going to go on top of that. I want to make sure I get enough of my putty in there. You know what I mean? See, this stuff shouldn't just be coming out this easy with me scraping it right out. The rock hard, once that dries, it's hard as a rock. So I'm just going to, I guess, take a little bit more out. Almost thinking, how much should I dig out? I don't want to dig out too much. Because I only got one can of this, and I've decided I better work on this one first, so that it can be drying while I work on the one at the front door. That one, if I don't have enough, I guess I'll have to go back to the store and get a bigger container of it. Man, I should have got the big container after all. That's all right. You know, if I was really concerned, I could take some small screws and put some screws in there and let the head stick out just a hair, but not flush with the surface. So when I went over it with the putty, that would help hold it into place, but I think it's going to hold fine. You know, I'm not going to get too picky with it. Okay, I don't think I'm going to go any further than that. I probably didn't even have to do that. Okay, time to mix up the putty. The trick is, it's in the dry form. You don't want to mix up very much at any one time. You know, don't go rambunctious and get way too much, okay? The thing I like about this stuff, it stores nicely, and you can use this forever, it seems like. Okay, so I don't have very much. I'll probably have to mix up a little bit more. And I've just got it in my little plastic sheetrock pan. I'm just going to pour a little bit of water in there, almost like mixing up Quickset. You know, just about the same. Always pour more water in. You get too much water in there, then you've got to pour more of your product in there, your water putty, when you may not need any more. Then you're wasting it bad. You see, I got just a little bit too runny. That's all right. I'm going to need probably about that much this first go around anyways. And man, I might have put too much in there. It's kind of a fine line as to how much to mix in there. I'm just using my 1-inch putty knife. I've got a sheetrock knife here too, a 3-inch. I guess I can just use that. Okay. Let's put that up there and see what happens. Always get your water lid back on there so you don't tip it over. Let's do it. Let's see, my putty knife's not wide enough. If it was, I could have just used that, but because I have my 3-inch, I think after I put it on there, I can put that on there. I'll just start off with my knife. I'm just trying to fill it in there. If I get it too low after it dries, I can just add some more. There's no way I'm going to get it perfect this first go around. You know? And if I get it too high, that's okay too, because as it's drying, I can take a sharp putty knife and just kind of shave some of it off and contour it how I think it needs to be. That's the beauty of this rock hard water putty. Okay. And it paints up pretty good too. Let's see here. That's going to be kind of tricky, that little edge. Just have to kind of eyeball it. Now I can do this edge over here. And if I didn't have the bigger knife, I could just go like that and pull it up. But I'm going to try that 3-inch here in a second, maybe. You know? This stuff, you can't really mess up with it because you just add more after it dries. Okay? I'm starting to make a new edge to the door right there. Still looks a little low. Right there. You can only play with it for so long before you just have to kind of leave it. You know? I think it's just a hair high there, but I don't think I'm going to mess with it any more than that for right now. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill up these holes. Remember this one, this is where I can cover this up. And it looks like I'm going to have to put 2 coats on. It's only going to get so smooth. Like that. And I can sand that and then I'll put another coat on. Okay, where I think it needs it. And I'm sure I'll need to do that. Okay, so I still have some more. So I'm going to go over here. And I've got a little bit over here that I can patch. Always look around to see if you've got anything else that needs to be done with your, if you have any excess. You know? Oh, looks like this. Ooh, bad. It looks like this metal strike plate goes all the way up there. I thought the strike plate stopped. So After that dries, I'll have to redo just this top, just that top screw and that top bulge. Okay. Now as that dries, see how dark that is? Well, as it dries, it's going to lighten up to a certain extent, but just stay off it until it hardens up. Then you can test it every once in a while, and then when it's hard enough, you can kind of scrape some of the high edges off. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to leave that. Okay. It's drying pretty good. It didn't really take that long to dry. I'm going to try and see what's going to happen if I scrape over this. And seeing if I should let it dry a little bit longer. In fact, well, a light touch on there. And I'm just knocking down the high spots. You know, then I can hold my putty knife on there, determine if there's high spots on here still, and there is. And see, I can get them off gently that way. And it looks like I could have waited just a hair. If I go down just a hair too low, that's all right. You know, because then I'm going to put another coat on there, knowing that it's going to be at the right height. You see what I mean? You just let that dry. Get it right to a point where you can still work it. I think once it dries, you could probably do that to a certain extent too. You know, scrape on it a little bit. I think I'm going to let that dry up some more, and then I can scrape a little bit more there, check this edge here, and get ready to put another coat on. See if you get it at the right consistency. Remember that edge was missing? Now I can just gently scratch some of this off. I'm creating a new outside edge there. And I'll have to touch that up some more. And then once I get it just right, I can wait and let that dry. And I could even take a wood rasp and clean it up and make it look nice and pretty there. It's easier to do it right now than wait. Because if you wait and you start scraping it off, you could damage the outside corner. At that point, you'd have to sand it and start using a wood rasp on it a different way. Okay? I'm not going to get too rambunctious with it. It's starting to form, see? Keep it up. You're doing it.